Welcome to HomeFront SitRep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront SitRep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Still in the fight, different battlefield, same damn life. No spotlight shining on the ones who serve, just grief, sacrifice, and a whole lot of nerve. From small town shops to a helping hand, we're lifting each other, yeah, that's the plan. No red tape, no filter, no disguise, just truth in the fire, behind our eyes. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the scars we carry to the lives we reveal, from the weight of silence to the strength of will. Non-profits grinding, boots on the street, no headlines chasing, just mission complete. Veteran alone, still chasing the dream. From a mic to a message, we're building a team. Creators and fighters, yeah, we all belong. Turn the pain into purpose, turn the hurt into song. No politics, no games, no divide. Just warriors standing side by side. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. We don't forget, we don't walk away. We carry each other through every day. From combat boots to a boss to a seat, still standing tall, still hard to defeat. Real stories, real impact, real people. This ain't just a podcast. This is a movement. This is HomeFront SitRep, loud and clear, for the ones still fighting year after year. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. Yeah, we rise, we grind, no regrets. Welcome to HomeFront SitRep.
Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of HomeFront SitRep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
I'm alive and well. Back from the Far East. Spent a week over there in Japan for Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni's Friendship Day. Had two amazing performances. Practice day was beautiful. Great weather. Couldn't ask for better. Show day on Sunday, not so much. Low clouds and rain, but if I was getting wet, my guys were getting wet, so I made sure they exited out of the back of the plane too. So now all good, man. And then got home and just honeydew list and getting ready for stuff. I had a TV interview right after I got back. So a little bit of jet lag. I probably look tired during the interview. That will air probably within the next couple of weeks. One of the local news stations is doing a Home of the Brave series that April had submitted some information for, and they came and did an interview. So HomeFront SitRep was mentioned. So
Nice.
hopefully that gets out a little bit more through the TV station that came here. And then yesterday, woke up way before I was supposed to, and took off to Watkins Glen. Again, weather was kind of iffy, but the two jumpers exited the plane. Flawless performance at Watkins Glen for NASCAR, and I couldn't ask for a better weekend. Then flew home and then just spent all friggin' day today at the dealership with the wife's car. You gotta love it when something happens when you're halfway across the globe and you can't do anything about it, and you have to take care of it when you get home. So I'm glad I have a couple weeks off from work, so I can focus on the Mogadishu Mile bottle and getting that done. I can focus on things around the house for a couple weeks before I get stupid busy with the team. Because Memorial Weekend we've got probably 7 or 8 performances all across the country.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back. Unfortunately, you had some car trouble there with Miss April's car, and hopefully they get that figured out for you guys. And
well, she took the truck today, and she comes back, and the whole sidewall of my tire is. I'm like,
oh, she curved it, didn't she?
I mean, I get it. I drive a 4-wheel drive pickup, but that doesn't mean you can be on the curb with it, But it's the whole thing, so. It's not just like one little spot. It's the whole sidewall. And I don't get white walls for that reason, but still.
Yeah, that's why my wife don't drive my truck.
Man, I mean, we didn't have a choice. We didn't have
a choice. Yeah. So, my wife tried to drive my truck, and she hates it, which I'm glad that she hates it. And it's very rare that she does decide to drive it. And, it's just like, oh. So we'll see. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Before we get going any further, I see you're rocking a new hat. I just want to say thank you so much to Elite Engraving for kicking out these great Mogadishu Mile hats for me. Other side, Willis. So that's the Mogadishu Mile Kentucky logo on there. I can't be more happy on the way they turned out. And then they sent me a special gift too in the shape of a koozie. So
nice.
Super excited. And I think the guys that will come in this year will want some hats, and I've already been asked about my other hat, so now I have somebody that can pump out some Moog Kentucky hats, and I'll just send them their way. But great product, and great veteran-owned company too, and we talk about them at the end of the show every weekend. But super excited for these hats. They fit great.
Yeah, dude, it's Richardson 112. You can't go wrong with it. And then you had the ideal to do the offset with the subdued logo. And I think it turned out phenomenal, which, they did this hat, the HomeFront SitRep hat. And I love the red patch on it just because, remember, everyone deployed. I love the Richardson 112. So, cannot complain. So,
I'll be having them do another hat for me. For the skydive team too. Again, black on black. I mean, I love the way it turned out. I'll be definitely getting another one from them here in the near future. Sure.
Yeah, I love the blackout. The blacked out anyway. Like my truck's blacked out. It's got 2 little red hooks on the front, and I'm about to paint those black anyway. So I love the blacked out look, but it just turned out phenomenal. They did an amazing job. So that's eliteengraving24.com. It's a small veteran-owned company up in Campbellsburg, Kentucky. Male, female couple. We will have them on the show actually coming up. I think next Sunday or Monday. I can't remember. So stay tuned for that, and we'll definitely talk about them there for sure. But I'm excited about today's guest. What do you think? Are you excited?
Oh yeah, 100%. I know we've talked about it for a while, and I'm glad, she had some time in her schedule to open up and come on, and she's taken the time to come on. She's, I think, busier than I am, which is a hard task to do, right? But super excited for tonight, and I think everybody that's watching and or will listen later will be extremely excited about the information she's going to put out, not only about herself, but what she represents and what she has represented.
Yeah, I mean, she made history. I mean, come on, the first female commander in chief of the VFW. I mean, that's phenomenal. But we'll let her talk about all of that. So
Yeah, for sure.
let's do this, and then we'll bring her up on the stage right afterwards.
I joined VFW Post 9127 in 2012 in Des Moines, Iowa. I had more than 30 years of service behind me before finally earning my eligibility by deploying to Iraq in 2010. A friend invited me to check out the post, and I became a life member immediately. My decision was deeply rooted in a sense of duty and desire to continue serving something greater than myself. I saw the impact the VFW was making in the community and the support and camaraderie it offered to veterans. Little did I know that decision would shape me in ways I could never have imagined. I get to be a small part of this advocacy powerhouse that is the VFW. Standing alongside nearly 1 million fellow veterans, where every voice matters. We're leading the charge for enhanced veterans benefits and care. We're advancing to meet the needs of service members all over the world. And we're active locally, bettering our communities, one project at a time, ensuring we are that pillar of support that people rely on. To put it simply, we are still serving. If you're a veteran and the call to serve burns inside you, I invite you to check us out. Visit our website or stop in your local post. If you've engaged with the VFW in the past and decided it wasn't for you, give us another look. You'll like what you see. I'm Carol Whitmore, National Commander of the VFW, and I look forward to welcoming you among our ranks.
Miss Carol Whitmore, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the time.
Well, we want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with us here on HomeFront SitRep. And I want to thank the PR team for reaching out and said, hey, we got a guest that would love to come on your show. So that is amazing. Thank you. And like Gunny said, you're a busy lady. So thank you for taking time out of your day to come hang out with us. So
Yeah.
if you don't mind, introduce yourself to the world of HomeFront SitRep.
Yes. Well, thank you. I am Carol Whitmore. I'm the National Commander-in-Chief for the Veterans of Foreign Wars for the years 2025-26. I will be relinquishing my command this coming July. The year has gone so fast. You have so much you want to accomplish, and you think you've got time. You think a year is enough. And it goes by in a blink. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to make the public more aware of what the VFW is and what we do. It's it started in 1899 with the Spanish-American War, and the World War II guys brought it to a different level because they were not given their due justice when they came back, and they really took it to a different level. And Korea, Vietnam, and Iraq, Afghanistan, it's a different era now. And so we have to evolve and make sure that we are relevant for today's generation. And I am a different face for command, and I think I've been received pretty well. I've never been told I don't belong in this position by anybody. It's about earning that respect through what you do, really. And advocacy by far is my biggest push for the VFW. It's where we get our business done in Washington, D.C. And I've been fighting really hard this year with the Major Richard Starr Act. It's been heavy on my mind, and I know on my fellow veterans' minds to get that done. And I'm still hopeful for this year to push it across the line, but we will have to see. But it's been an honor to do this, and I will be eternally grateful for this opportunity.
So speaking of that, we do have a question real quick. Let's see, where'd it go? All right. What does becoming the first female leader of the Veterans of Foreign War mean to you personally, and what message do you hope your leadership sends to the next generation of women, veterans, and military leaders?
That's a great question. I didn't even consider what this really meant when I first started running. I ran against 4 gentlemen, and here I am. So they had confidence in me. I have a total of 36 years of service. I did 15 active and 21 reserve time. I did not even get to deploy until I was had 30 years in. I turned 55 in Iraq, and that was no easy task to do, but I was grateful for that opportunity. I'm a retired nurse. I went as a nurse, and it's not about being male, female. It should be about your qualifications and what you bring to the table. And I've said this many times, I'm a veteran first. I just happen to be female. And that was my big push that I wanted to put through. Am I proud to be female veteran? Absolutely. And everybody that serves should be proud of what they do. And I am extremely proud of what I've been able to accomplish this year so far.
Heck yeah. So another question from Rich LaMonica. What do you feel are the biggest challenges currently facing the veterans of foreign wars, and what vision or plans do you have to help revive, grow, and reconnect the organization with today's generation of veterans?
Another great question. It's about getting the meaning of what the VFW is to this generation. It's hard to get people to stop thinking about grandpa's old smoky bar. That's what, some people still have that perception that it is, and it's not whatsoever anymore. We bring so much more to the table in the communities. We work in the communities with Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. We give scholarships to Patriot Pen and Voice of Democracy students, grades 6 through 12. And it is just so much more than a cheap place to get a drink. It is a place of camaraderie, and it's a place where you can share your story, and everyone has a story to share, and they should. We should never feel like we can't. But that's the community that the VFW is. If you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt and hat, you want to have somebody that understands that. And that's what the VFW brings to the table. And it is a challenge to get today's generation to join. This generation is not a joining organization type generation. But man, it's strength in numbers when it comes to Congress. They sit up and listen when they know that there's a million veterans out there that are demanding to be taken care of in the right way. So it's that old adage, strength in numbers, and being part of the revolution, so to speak.
Yeah. Do you think that with the amount of deployments that this generation did, so we'll say even just from 2001 until the end of Afghanistan, right? So I know for like my old unit, 3rd Battalion.
We lost him. Gunny, we lost you.
Yeah.
Let's see if he comes back.
I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Yeah, no, he disappeared there for a second. He'll be back here in just a second.
Yeah.
He's probably still talking and don't even realize he's froze.
Yeah. But I mean, I get it. This generation it's tough, to explain to them. If they appreciate their benefits that they've gotten so far, a lot of it is due to the VFW, our service officers. Legion has their part in this also. DAV has their part. Service organizations take care of veterans now in ways that they don't even understand. It's the Forever GI Bill, the PACT Act, working on the Major Richard Starr Act. It takes a voice, and it takes persistence. And that's what we're doing. And we have an office in Washington, D.C. We have a brilliant team in Washington, D.C. that is leading that front for us. there to make sure that the VA understands what differences need to happen. Our congressmen, our senators, so that they understand what needs to change and what needs to be better.
So I do have a question because the Richard Starr Act, it doesn't really affect me. Like I didn't do my full 20. Like I got out in 2001 and then got recalled back in after 9/11, and then I got out in 2004. So I did little over 6 years. So the Richard Starr Act, it doesn't really affect me, but it affects a lot of people that I know because I've been volunteering with local nonprofits and some national nonprofits as well. And Gunny, for one, who was forced medically retired from the Marine Corps, it affects him greatly because he doesn't get his full retirement package, and
Right.
he's getting his stuff from being blown up twice and getting all of that, but he's 100%, but he's not getting his full pension because he didn't technically retire, but he was forced retired.
Right.
So it does affect Gunny. What is the major blockage in Congress right now that's stopping the Richard Starr Act?
Well, some of it's the verbiage. They keep referring to some of the verbiage is not correct, but the biggest stumbling block is money. It comes from DOD, and it should not have to come from DOD. We should not have to take money from DOD. There's a military retirement fund that is flush with money and could fund this tomorrow. And for some reason, that verbiage is not in what the Richard Starr Act has. And so a lot of congressmen and senators are reticent about signing on for this. And I get it. It's a lot of money. It's $10 billion, but it's over 10 years. And it only affects about 50,000 veterans.
Right.
So, just take care of us the way that you promised. We have a saying, we call it honor the contract. And we signed a binding contract when we joined the military. And if we broke that contract, we were punished. That's all we're asking. We signed that contract, honor our service and honor the things that happen to us.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. I mean, now I'm not saying that every veteran out there deserves 100% because everybody's service is different.
Right.
But if there's that hashtag not service connected going around, because the VF or the VA is saying, well, it's not service connected. My generation, when we got hurt, we were told, don't go report because it'll sideline you. I was infantry in the Marine Corps.
Right.
And we were told, hey, if you report, you're going to be sidelined. And then you got your peers, oh, well, you're just a sick call bandit. You're a sick call bandit, blah, blah, blah. So
Right.
There's things. I was in Greece in 2000 for a joint NATO exercise. And I was in the back of one of our Humvees, troop Humvees. And the driver decided to take a creek really, really fast. Well, we had the troops strap up. We had the back flat down because it was hot. And I was launched out of that Humvee and into the creek, and I was knocked out for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, the Lance Corporal that was driving, his dad was a full bird colonel in the Marine Corps, and they're like, don't report it. I'll get in trouble with my dad and command, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't report it.
Right.
And I'm still struggling with the VA now, getting things that should be, because I was infantry, automatic.
Right.
Granted, I know the VA doesn't have certain things listed by MOS. There's some things that are, but there's a lot of things that are not.
Right.
But if we signed our name on that dotted line and we're going back to them saying, hey, this is what's wrong with me. I don't have medical records, but this was my MOS. There should be things that should be automatic, I think, me personally.
Well, and if you have witnesses that will attest to that, that should be submitted also with your claim.
Right.
I get it. Back in the day, you were considered sick, lame, and lazy if you went on sick call, and your peers, your squad, your platoon, let you know that too. And how wrong that is. And when I just came back from overseas, and I was with some Marines at Camp Humphreys, Korea, and there was a young warrant officer in charge of the people that were there, and I told him, I said, please don't tell your troops not to go on sit call. Please take care of them so that when they do get out, they're broken, and that they can prove that. And he said, absolutely, I am 100% behind that, because there's too many veterans out there that can't prove what happened to them because they did not go on sick call. They didn't go and get treatment.
Yeah.
And, it's a shame because, now they're paying for that bravado that they, did not go on sick call.
Yeah. So my nephew, he was National Guard at first, and then he's active duty now with the Army. And I'm like, bro, anything that happens to you while you're on active duty, you twist your ankle, you do whatever, go to sick call, get it reported, because when you're 20 years out and you're trying to get your VA benefits, because I waited, I was one of the dumb ones. I was like, I'm not. There's other veterans that need it more than I do. That's my mentality.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't want to be like me. You want to get out of the military, whether it's 20 years, 15 years. You want to be rated from the VA as soon as you walk out the door, and you want to be 100%. But if you don't go to the BA, Battalion Aid Station, the BAS, and report that, it'll never be in your records.
Yeah.
So when you go to fight this, they're going to say, oh, it's not service connected. So you need to make sure everything is service connected. And I tell any service member that I come in contact with, I'm like, look, I don't care what somebody calls you, if they call you a sick call commando, whatever. If something happens to you while you're in, go have it reported, get it put in your medical records. That way you're not fighting the system later, because we all know that the VA, and I don't want, because I don't want to bash the VA, all right, because there's a lot of great programs within the VA. They do really good things in the VA. But when it comes to getting rated, it's a headache. I mean, you got to jump through hoops and red tape and
it's VA math.
Yeah, and VA math.
No sense, but it does to them. So
yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And Gunny is not coming back. His internet crashed.
Okay.
So Ty, if you want to jump on the screen whenever you can.
Yeah, it truly is a crime when we're telling kids, literally kids, not to go on sick call because you'll cause problems, and we're not taking care of them properly sometimes on active duty, and then they pay for it later when they don't have that documentation to prove what happened as yourself. But there's other ways, if you do have people that witnessed that and can attest to it, they have to consider that then. So I've done that.
Unfortunately, the driver of the Humvee lost his battle to his demons. And I can't remember, like I can see their faces, but I can't remember their names.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I think that's because of the undocumented TBI that I have.
Sure.
And so I'm working on getting all of that too. And it's just like, how do I go about getting a buddy letter stating, hey, this is what happened, when I can't remember? Like, I can picture faces, but I can't picture names. And it's just like, oh man. So I'm figuring it out.
System, that has names, in units. There has to be some kind of archival system somewhere for that time period, I would think.
Well, so we were doing a joint operation. So we had the Greek military there, we had Croatian military there, and I can't remember if I was with my squad or if it was a mixture of Marines from my platoon. So I've reached out to a few. Some haven't responded yet on Facebook. Of course, not everybody uses Facebook anymore,
Yeah.
but it's getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
All right.
good luck with that.
Well, thank you. I'm hoping and praying that everything else that's wrong with me. I'm 40, so I'll be 48. When I was 46, I had a total right knee replacement. And I actually have to have a left knee replaced as well. I just haven't done it yet. I'm hoping with everything that I have going on with me, without doing the TBI portion of it, I'll be at 100%. I'm hoping by the end of the year. We'll see. Just got to keep fighting, and I got to be my own advocate, and then I got to get other people to advocate for me as well. So,
Yep,
but
you do. You do.
myself is the best advocate. So,
Yes.
all
Yeah.
right, we got another question from Mr. Rich LaMonica. He says, looking across the country, which state or post within the Veterans of Foreign Wars has seen the strongest membership growth recently, and which states do you feel the need a little extra TLC and to support to rebuild engagement and momentum?
Oh gosh. All of the states are working really hard this year on membership. I gave a goal of 101% membership, over 100%, so that we actually have growth. And right now, I think I have 12 that are at 101%. So, those top states are Montana, Alaska, the Pacific areas. Even my own state, Iowa, is at 100% right now, and it's really hard. It's a struggle sometimes to convince somebody that they need to belong to something that is bigger than themselves, something that will give them a new purpose, and to help other fellow veterans. If you're doing okay, let's help somebody else be okay also. And our organization does that. And we provide that outlet, and we provide that camaraderie, because, anybody in the VFW had to serve boots on ground overseas, or expeditionary sustainment medal, land or air or sea. There's different operations that are eligible for the VFW, and it's kind of a shame, to leave them out there and not bring them in part of our family of veterans. And that's what I want. I want to see that. There are some states that are struggling, as the question asked. Poor Rhode Island. They're the smallest state. They have veterans there. It's just been a struggle for them. Massachusetts is struggling a little bit, but good leaders, good commanders there. It's just a matter of getting the word across to this generation that they do belong with us, that it is relevant, and we are fighting for them and their benefits and the future benefits, and keeping the ones that we've earned not taken away from us. So that is what's so critically important about the numbers.
So let me ask you a question. I think recently there was a VFW local to me or close to me that recently closed doors, and I think that was because they couldn't get membership, and I think they couldn't fund for the rent and stuff that was going on. Now, the younger generation came in and became commander, vice commander, so forth, and started with new ideals of way to increase the membership. The old heads, the older generation, fought tooth and nail because they didn't want it to change.
Yeah.
How do you guys at national level combat that when you have the younger generation that wants to get involved, but yet once they get into a commander or vice commander, treasurer, or whatever, the older generation that's there says, hey, we're not doing that, and they refuse. And then that makes the younger generation say, all right, well, if you don't want to change, we'll leave.
Yeah.
So how do you guys combat that?
Well, that's an ongoing problem sometimes because change is hard, and an older generation is set in their ways. They don't want to upset the cart for anything, but you have to not beat them over the head, but you have to let them see the future. They can't do it forever, so they need to blend their thoughts so that it is part older, part tradition, and part new generation and future generation. It's about saying the right words to let them see. We're not taking anything away from them. We're trying to help. And I know this has been said before, there's no such thing as a bad idea. Sometimes there is, but hold my beer. Yeah, it proves it.
Right.
But it's about being open-minded, and that's what this generation needs to be respectful of the older ways, but tell them we're here to help. We're not here to kick you out or change everything completely. We have to look at things differently to make it appealing to other people. And it's not about a building. Even you don't have to have a building to be a post. A lot of posts out there are thriving because they don't have to pay for a building mortgage or rent or electricity or overhead. They meet at a library, or they meet at the rec center or something, and they don't have to pay that those building fees that some do.
Right.
So it is hard. It's a challenge, but it's finding the right words to get them to see that it's not about kicking them out. It's just about moving forward.
So let's talk about like eligibility wise. So I was in from 97 to 01 the first time. I did a stint down in Haiti, which was a humanitarian / quick reaction force there. Got out right before 9/11. 9/11 happened, then I was recalled back in, and I was technically active reserve at that time because I was still on an individual ready reserves. And they put us with a mobilization support battalion. Gunny said his computer crashed. They put us with a mobilization support battalion, and we did our combat refresher training. And we went to Kuwait. We were in Kuwait for probably a month and a half, maybe, and then they were like, all right, we're sending you back. We don't need you here no more. So we went back stateside, and we ran all the reserve units that were getting spun up would come to us. We would do, get all their gear, weapons, everything issued out to them. And then once they come back, we would take their weapon gear and all of that. So eligibility wise, I don't think technically because I was never in a combat zone, even though I was there for about a month. I don't know if I'm eligible to join the VFW.
Okay. Well, there's like I said before, there's different operations, and it depends if you received hostile fire, on if it shows on your pay scale. If you received hostile fire, imminent danger pay. There's a lot of expeditionary medals out there that different operations. I don't know all of the Navy ones. There's multiple Navy eligibility. Marines, you go to strange places when you're Marines.
Right, we do.
I'd have to bring up a list of things. It is quite extensive, and the only thing you can do is go to vfw.org and look up the eligibility, and they update it all the time to make sure that we're not missing certain operations that are eligible for us, especially in the air. I mean, that's the new warfare. I'm not saying drones are eligible, but the airspace when somebody is flying in imminent danger, that usually shows up somewhere on their pay stub, or so to speak.
Right.
Yeah. So it's changing all the time. Operation Enduring Fury, that's our latest one in Iran. That's going to be eligible for a lot of people, and
Right.
so it changes. So you just have to kind of look to see.
Yeah, I think I need to get an updated DD214,
Yeah.
because when my first one, definitely, I'm not really worried about the first one,
Mhm.
but the second one that I got when I got recalled, I think I need to get it updated. And there are some service medals and stuff that I
Yep.
rate that was not on that are not on either one of them, and I take that back to 2.8 and 1.8. Because I don't think admin did their job properly. But
Sure.
that's stuff that's in National Archive, and they can see that, hey, I was there at this time. This is what I did. So I definitely probably need to get an updated DD214. Actually, I think it's a DD215, the updated
Yes.
version.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that would have the extras put on there. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Combat
So
action badge, that is eligible on its own, on its own merits. So
right.
yeah, there's different things. So I hope you can.
Yeah, I think I will. I gotta I gotta get rid of my day job, and then I can focus on. Well, so I say my day job. I have two day jobs. I'm dad to my two daughters that are getting ready to be out of the house, and then I work a full-time job with a national telecommunications company. And I only got 6 years left, and I can retire from there. And once I get that said and done, and I get my VA rating all said and done, then I'll figure out the VFW, American Legion,
Yeah,
AMVETS, all of that.
yeah,
Because I'm when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was a recovering alcoholic. Now, granted, Marines were founded in a bar, and they said, "Hey, you're an alcoholic, so you need to go to detox." So I went to detox for 60 days, did all of that. So I didn't go to the VFW or American Legion because when I was growing up, my uncles that were in the military, my grandfather, they would always go to the American Legion or the VFW and come back drunk. So me, that's all I knew at that time was that's what the VFW, American Legion was, is, they go there to get drunk, come back home, right?
right.
But once I got to the point where I was volunteering, and I had a lot of friends that were members at the VFW post, and I went and seen what they were doing. They're trying to do like the gaming, the VFW gaming thing that they got now. That's super cool. I'm like, all right, maybe I do need to get more involved in the VFW. And then I found out about, you guys going to Washington, DC and doing all of that there in DC. And it starts grassroots, really, honestly. Like if we want to enact laws to help veterans in the future, it starts at the grassroots level. So it starts at this post here in Kentucky, and then it moves from there, and then it goes to regional, then from regional to national, and then that's how things get changed.
Right.
So yeah, I love everything that the VFW is doing. And then my buddy Ty Cobb, who's my producer behind the scenes right now, he said the VFW saved his life.
Good.
That's super cool to hear stories like that. And then to see that, it's not the good old boys club anymore like it used to be, because
Right.
look where you are. You're the first female commander in chief, and that's an amazing historical feat, that'll be talked about for generations to come. So that's super cool. I love it.
It's a great honor for me, and I'm very proud that I can not only represent female veterans, but every veteran that has served overseas and in harm's way. So it's my greatest joy is when I get to go around the country and talk to my fellow veterans about what's affecting them and what's working and what doesn't work, in the VFW. So yeah, it's a pretty incredible job.
That is I love it, and I'm glad that you're there, and I'm glad you're leading the VFW into the future. I think it's super cool, and I can't wait to see what other things that the VFW comes up with to get more engagement from the younger generation. Like I said, there for a while, people said the VFW, the American Legions, were going to die out because it was going to die out with the Vietnam vets. But I think people like Ty and other younger generation are trying to revive the VFW and stuff like that. So I think that's super cool.
The senior vice coming up behind me, Corey Geisler from Wisconsin, he is a runner, and he is working on developing a health program for the VFW, to make people feel like, I'm kind of back in the battle again here, and get that invigoration of, what you used to do in the military, PT, you always felt good. I've seen many, people run after a big hangover, but man, they felt great afterwards,
Yeah. I remember being in Okinawa, and we had PT. So we went out the night before, and luckily for me, my roommate was my corpsman. So, he put an IV line in me, and then we taped it up. We went out to the bar, got plumb plastered, and then got back, hooked it up to a banana bag, and went straight to sleep. I was ready to go the next morning. But that's the fun times. That's stuff that you remember. So
yeah. I get to do a lot of pretty cool things as commander. And coming up, I have to brag about this community called Fox Force out of Fort Benning, Georgia. Benning or Bragg. It's an all-female jump team, and they invited me to go to Normandy to commemorate our landing in Normandy, and we'll be jumping out of a perfectly good airplane on the 3rd of June. I've never jumped before. It will be tandem. So it's about commemorating, the events of Normandy, and to know that there was a female that had jumped in 3 days prior to June 6th. Her name was Peppa Latour. And she jumped in behind enemy lines and did covert operations before D-Day even started. And that story most people don't know about, and so we're commemorating that. We're doing the 40s style coveralls to wear. I have to wear red lipstick, red fingernails. I have to put my hair in Heidi braids. Because that was the 1940s era style. And I could not be more honored to be able to represent the VFW and the females that have served and have done jumps and multiple jumps. And it's beyond measure how excited I am about this.
I think it's super cool that you get to do that. If Gunny was still here, he would be all over it, because that's what he does now on a professional.
I'm going to have a GoPro on my helmet, and watch me screaming all the way down, probably.
No, I think you're going to enjoy every bit of that initial jump. I think that's going to get you, but once you're free falling, you're going to love it. So I think you're going to, I can't wait to see the video. I'll even screen grab it and play it on here for our watchers and stuff later when you do it. So
it is. I can't tell you it's just so exciting to be able to do this, along with 20 other females that were chosen from across the United States, and I was one of them. And I'm just thrilled and honored to be able to represent like this. It is. It will be epic. It will be, one for the books, I believe. But the Fox Force, and they are an incredible group. One of the founders is Tony Lavery. Her husband is Nick Lavery, who was the first amputee allowed back on active duty.
Oh man, okay.
And, as a Green Beret, and he is still serving. I've met him. He's a beast. He is all in. And Tony is also. She is a hard charger. So I'm honored to be with this group.
Heck yeah. Well, I want to say thank you very much again from the bottom of my heart for you taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with us here on HomeFront SitRep. If there's anything out there that you can say to veterans that are listening to this now or later or watching whenever they watch it, what would your last words be?
Being a veteran, it's truly less than 1% that serves, and not everybody can do it, even if they want to, for physical reason, mental reasons, whatever. Not everybody can serve. So you should feel proud of your service. You should feel, good about talking about it. We all have different experiences. The Marines, they're just first in and last out, and I have so much respect for Marines. My Army people, we're the largest branch. In the Navy, I spent more time on Navy bases this year than I ever thought I would. And Air Force, we can't do anything unless we fly. So God bless them. It is so special. And Space Force, that's a new appreciation for a whole different ball game for war. And be proud of your service. If you're eligible to join the VFW, do it. You will not regret it. It is about advocating for every veteran, whether or not you're VFW or not. We advocate for every veteran, and that's what we're supposed to do, is take care of each other.
I do have one follow-up question. Veteran service officers within the VFW post, are there ones in each post, or is it regional?
Well, we don't call them service officers in the post anymore, because they're not technically changed or trained like a service officer that is accredited through the VA. We now call them service representatives, I believe, and I don't think that's correct either. But to guide them to an accredited service officer. Each state does have a VFW accredited service officer, at least one, multiple in the larger states. The Legion has the same. They are accredited through the VA also. DAV is the same. If you haven't seen one and you've been in the military for any length of time, you owe it to yourself to go. You earned those benefits the hard way. Take them. If you don't take that money, it will go back to the government. That money is there for you. You deserve it, and you need to make sure that you go get yourself taken care of.
I love it. I love it. Well, Miss Carol Whitmore, I want to say thank you again for coming and hanging out with us today. And talking about yourself and the VFW and the mission forward for the VFW. I'm excited to see what comes about from you serving as the national commander-in-chief, and I can't wait to see where you go from here.
Yes, it is all about paying it back and paying it forward. I've had a good life and good career, so it's my turn to give back, and this is the best way I can do it.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you again. I'm gonna drop you down in the green room. If you have to go, I understand. If you want to hang out, we can chit chat afterwards. That's up to you. But we're gonna end the show up real quick.
Okay. I thank you so much. I appreciate it. I do have some business I've got to take care of, so it's my forever job here, I think.
Yes, ma'am. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out an email to several different veteran podcasters.
Okay.
I'm going to copy you and Michelle on that. That way
Right.
she can get you scheduled for some other veteran podcasts as well. I think getting your story out there and the mission of the VFW, I think it's very vital. So we're going to take care of that for you.
Right. Thank you for your service, David.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Have a great night.
All right. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mr. Ty Cobb, I brought you up on the screen.
What's up, man?
What do you think, buddy? How do you think?
That's I really appreciated her mission statement when she was elected. You know, I am excited for any type of revamp into the recruitment because there was some infighting, I guess, and things like that went on. But like I can't tell you enough how much the VFW did for me. How happy I've been with like all the leaders here in Texas and my district and my post, you know, Tomball 2427, like it literally saved my life. So whether, you know, we're getting out there and we're building a tribe, we're working out together. You know, I've spoke at length about the barbecue culture that kind of, you know, resides right there with Veterans 1 and 2 for the post. You know, they throw up a lot of stuff for fundraisers. The Texas VFW is just so strong. And the people that I know from Texas have spoken about what National does. I know one of Dan West is up at National. I can't tell you enough. From a veteran that served from 98 to 2017, the VFW and American Legion, yeah, they have bunkers. Yeah, they have canteens. And we can drink some. We like to party. But the biggest thing that I get out of it is the tribe. You get people that understand what you're going through, can see warning signs because, you know, they spent the same time deploying for 20 years in the global war on terror. And we need to ensure that we embrace the next generation that's going to be fighting in Iran and everything is, you know, as much as we got embraced by the VFW. I think I joined the VFW in 2005 when I was deployed because they would send packages over and then you would join a VFW. I think I was in Ohio or something. But I've always had great experience with them. I love what Carol had to say, and you know, I can't wait to have her on our show.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely have to get that email sent out to you, Rich, and the TOTS group, and have her on some more shows. I might even try to get her on one of the Tip of the Spears, just to have you know a different perspective on the tip of the spear on some of the things that we talk about, which I'm excited about the next one. Because you know, we'll talk about the Iran war again, and we'll talk about, you know, a little bit of everything like we always do on Tip of the Spear. So
what she said though that really resonated with me, the 1 million, you know, veterans, that's going to resonate with our legislators. So whether it's local, state, federal government, we need those people petitioning for all the veterans to make sure that we don't lose benefits, like she says, and that we gain new ways to administer those modalities for therapy. And our podcast is one of them, bro. So thank you for building this network and letting me be in a part of this. Cause you know, Carol Whitmore is a big deal in my world. The National VFW commander, fuck, that's pretty awesome. Yes, so sir. Appreciate you letting me be here today.
No, man, you're welcome anytime. You know that. I love the network. Like you said, you know, I had an idea after coming up with HomeFront SitRep, and, you know, meeting you and meeting Rich and meeting all these other veteran podcasters. I was like, man, we need a roundtable discussion. And then, you know, I brought you guys in on the fold, and it went from, you know, 4 or 5 veteran podcasters to all these veterans that come on, and man, it's phenomenal. I in the words of
and then from that we get more people in our phones. You know, I know I can call Rich because, you know, he spent a lot of time at Fort Campbell. He knows what I may have, you know, some question I have about the Wings of the Eagle Museum opening. He's going to know that, and you just got that network. And yeah, I love it, man. I love what you're doing there.
It's all about building that tribe, that community, and it's what it's all about, because we can't do it individually. We can't do this life individually, and that's this right here. You're not alone.
Yep.
Ladies and gents, you're not alone. even though you feel like it, this right here, in the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You are not alone. That right there says it enough. And then this right here, the uniform may come off, but the bond remains. And together we heal, together we rise, and together we carry each other forward.
Yes, sir.
That's the key word there, together. And then hashtag be someone stranger. Ladies and gents, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So be someone stranger today. And what I mean by that is if you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them and say, hey, how are you doing? And if they give you the red flags, I'm okay, I'm hanging in there, I'm living the dream, ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? And be ready for that conversation. It could be a 5-minute conversation. It could be an 8-hour conversation. And just sit there and listen. Don't try to fix them. Just sit there and listen, because that's all we need sometimes. And I debuted a song last week, and I'm not going to even talk about our community partners tonight. I will give a shout out to Heroes Media Group and Reach Across America Radio and SameFlagSameOath.com, because we talk about those every time, every episode. Yeah, I was wearing my Same Flag, Same Oath hat earlier today. I need to get back with Matt to talk, finish up our store site within the SameFlagSameOath.com universe and have our shirts up and ready to go, because I'm ready to get those things out there to the masses. But anyway,
I just spoke to Matthew earlier today. He's as usual working his butt off.
Yeah, he's definitely busy. I know he had some family things that came up last week or the week before, I don't push him, because he's doing me a service. Granted, it helps Same Flag, Same Oath, but he's doing something for me, and I don't push him for it. I'm not. When it's ready, it's ready. I mean, that's.
I tell people all the time, like, he's one of my favorite people in the world. Like, he's the guy. He's like a emergency contact in my phone, and we're pretty tight. But I only talk to him like maybe 2-3 times a week, because like he's either on his primary job, he's being an excellent father. He's running our business with the TTV Live Foundation. Like, that dude's got a lot of shit going on. He's like a rock star in my world, and I don't get to talk to him. So Amen. Sorry if you don't get to talk to him. He's a rock star, man.
Yeah, if you want a t-shirt, go check out SameFlagSameOath.com. I will tell you, quality of the shirt is phenomenal. Uncle Sam is still wearing his shirt. He still ain't washed it, so he's still stinky. But go check out SameFlagSameOath.com. And you know what? I'm going to play this song for you, Ty, because I don't know if you got to hear it last when I debuted it. But this song's called Be Someone Stranger. It's the title of this song. So just listen to the words.
All right, we'll do.
We'll sit in the bar with a stranger at night, spill out our pain like it's alright. Talk about scars we never showed to the ones back home who love us most. We say I'm good when they look in our eyes, perfect disguise, perfect lies, but there's someone we may never see again. We tell the truth we're hiding in. Yeah, it's easier when there's nothing to lose, harder when love's got something to prove. So be someone stranger for a minute or two, look 'em in the eye like you want the truth. And when they say I'm fine, just living the dream, don't let them hide behind that screen. Ask the next hard question, don't let it slide. Yeah, but how are you really doing inside? 'Cause the strongest hearts break in silence too. And sometimes healing starts with you. We walk past pain
high note right there.
Yeah, well,
Is this that AI stuff you've been messing with?
yeah.
Who did you ask it to sound like?
I have to go back and look.
No, this is you're getting good at it.
You almost walked by was the one chance to save a life. We're all just searching, hoping it shows that somebody cares enough to know. Next time someone says, I'm okay, I'm living the dream, don't walk away. Ask them, how are you really doing?
I think it's a mixture between Springsteen and Stapleton.
Yeah, I can hear the Stapleton, the vocal fry, or raspiness.
You never know, you never know. So don't just hear them, see them too. The world gets better when we do.
Not bad, bro. So like I can't wax poetic. I can't get that emotional. I can't psychoanalyze an AI song writer, so I don't fuck with it as much as you do. But man, like from some of the ones that you were doing at the beginning and to when you got to that Limp Bizkit inspired one you did for me to that one, like I say on the show, a lot of our emotions, especially from deployments, is like really wrapped up in music. So I'm guessing yours is country. You listen to country? That's your genre?
Well, I listen to a little bit of everything. So it just depends on what mood I'm in that day.
Like post service, cooled out, level Willis. What do you listen to when you're chilling?
So I like a lot of reggae. So if I'm just chilling, like I'll have a mixture of songs playing. Like I have a happy mix. It's called a happy mix.
Yeah.
So it'll be like, it might be Santana one song, might be Jerry Lee Lewis the next song, might be Bob Seger
and then
the
Julie
next song.
picks the next one.
Yeah. So it goes. My happy mix is like a wide variety of music. Except for classical, because I won't throw classical in there, but hip hop, 90s hip hop. I listen to a little bit of everything.
I do listen to everything, but like that I was in the Jacksonville club scene from early 96 until I joined the military in late 98, and that was 2.5 years of just absolute bedlam sometimes. And so Limp Bizkit is really stuck, Corn, all that kind of stuff, along with a lot of hip hop, especially the Mission stuff is Outkast, all that real fast stuff, Bombs Over Baghdad and stuff, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Outkast, any fast rap. Remember Do or Die? Crucial Conflict. That was my joints back in, when I first joined the military.
Well, you were on here with Theory, right? I
vibe with Theory, like because he's got such the width and breadth of his musical knowledge is awesome. But he raps, so the way he draws stuff in with his brain, like I enjoyed that aspect.
Well, when he was on the show talking about his upcoming album that's getting ready to drop, the beat that I played that he freestyled on, I created that beat for him. Oh, really? Yeah, I created that beat for him, and he didn't even know what the beat was going to be until I played it for him then. So, the good thing I use Suno to create my music. I'm not a singer. Now what I will do when it comes to the AI songs, like that song there, like Be Someone Stranger, I'll go into Chat GPT and I'll say, all right, this is my ideal, and I'll write some lyrics that I come up with, like be someone stranger, ask the next hard question, all of that, right? And then ChatGPT will create me a song, right? And then I'll go in and I'll modify the lyrics, because sometimes ChatGPT, it is AI, so it comes out robotic-y, right? So I have to go in and I modify them. And then what I do is I'll take the lyrics and I'll upload it into Suno, and I'll be like, all right, what style of music do I want to listen to? What do I want this song to be in? And then so I'll be like, all right, I want 90s country. I want male raspy vocals. Or, you know, if I want to do 808s with a triple row on the hi-hat. So there's things that I throw.
Goddamn MC Willis.
Yeah, so I throw those into Suno, and it comes up with, you know, different things of that nature. And it's just like, and then I keep listening until I find the right music that I'm looking for. And it's fun, you know, to play around with it. Now, I'm no artist like that, you know. I'm no Theory, I'm no Chris Stapleton, I'm no Garth Brooks, no Limp Bizkit, right? My stuff is AI generated, and it's how I'm feeling at that moment. Like, I'm from Kentucky, right? You're from Kentucky. This song right here, it's a country song. I'm gonna play it for you. I've never played it on the radio or the show before. This is where you'll hear. You'll just know.
Okay.
Past the trees, no rank on your collar, no need to be seen, just boots in the gravel, a breath in your chest. First time in a while, you don't feel the test. No orders to follow, no mask to defend, just brothers and sisters who've been where you've been. This is where the quiet heals, where the noise fades out and the truth feels real. No speeches, no saviors, no one pretending, just scars in the open and souls mending. If you're tired of running, tired of pretending, there's a place in Kentucky where the quiet heals. Firelight stories, coffee
This
gone
is
cold.
still AI, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you express yourself?
Yes, sir. Through music.
That's cool,
yeah.
man. Like I appreciate that. I'm all my buddies that I play in a couple bands. Like we would have bands when we were downrange or something, and so a couple of my buddies like, don't get into that electronic stuff. You know, that ain't real. You know, so Matt makes fun of me for liking AI, but like I said, I don't really get into AI music, but you do that pretty well.
Well, thank you. I try. It's AI. You know, granted, there's something about being an artist, whether you're in a band, whether you write songs, whether you're a drummer, whatever. That doing that is healing, right? Music therapy. It's one of those things. It's phenomenal. But when it comes to the AI stuff, you can put it into Suno and just do simple and give it an ideal, and it will create the song right then and there. But when you pay for the next version, because the free version you can it's very limited, right? So I pay for the next version where I actually open up the studio, and I'll put in there, if I'll separate the tracks, like the drums, the guitar, the whatever, and if I want to speed it up, slow it down, just to make the sound what I'm looking for. Because and there people are saying there's no artistry behind it, but when you listen to it, that's what gets you. That's what gets you in your feels, and you're like, oh man.
Well, yeah, but for me, like I know that you're doing it, so that's why I like your shit. But most of it, like I wouldn't get into it myself. But I like you. I like hearing your stuff because of your story. But that's it. I can't get emotional about it if I know some computer wrote the lyrics, because how the fuck is a computer supposed to know? But I know, for instance, on the other end that you're putting in a lot of the information.
Yeah, so I'm going in there. Yeah, I'm going in there, Chat GPT, putting in the information that I want it to come up with the song about. And a lot of times, dude, I'll put it in a whole, like 2 paragraphs of things that I want this song to be about. And then I'll hit render, and it'll come up with the song. And then I'm like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. And then I go in and I change the verse to make it sound the way I want. Like, there was a Triple Threat Vet song that I did that it said "We Are Triple Threat," but it didn't say Triple Threat Vet. So I had to go in, change it to Vets, or add that onto the end of it. And then like some of the Tip of the Spear songs, go in and change. We have one HomeFront SitRep song, not the new one, but the one before, that a lot of people are like, man, that song made me cry. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I don't want people to cry because they're listening to the songs that are playing on the show. That's
the thing though. I mean, Will, let's check this out. So, I mean, that's one of the modalities of healing, whether you have, 100% PTSD, 50%, whatever it is that's your ailment, or you just need some tribe to get back to post service. Like that's what I love. Like the little thing that we're doing music here, the barbecue, whether you're getting out there with adventure therapy with the Project Zero, or you start your own business. Like I think Matt Johnson would be happy to teach you how to start your own business as a veteran. So all these little things we get to do, that's a lot of fun, man. So, hey, this is the song you're talking about. This is the one you made for us.
Love it.
Yeah, so I was into hip hop, and I asked you, and you put all that in, and we use it at the end of the show now. So appreciate that. I didn't even realize we're still live. I just started like fucking nerding out with you about it.
We're still live. I want to give a big shout out to Miss Addie. She's on TikTok right now. She's my sis in the Navy. She's out in Washington State. She just got married, so I want to give her a big shout out. Congratulations. Super excited for you, sis. We need to talk soon just to make sure everything's good to go. So big shout out to you, sis. All right, Ty, it is about that time, my friend, to end the show. I hate it, but it is about that time.
Yeah, it's good. I appreciate you letting me come on. We got a roast of CIA Bob. You may know the character from the show. He's actually a guy I served with in 2003. We're doing a roast of him on the 21 May. So you have to pop in and take some pop shots, because you've heard that crazy stuff he says on our show.
Oh, yeah.
And we're also going to have AJ Merrifield. He biggest storyteller in the Army. And, he's part of the rumor from changing the Army's policy on battle buddies to warrior companions. So there's, funny stories galore. We're going to roast the shit out of CIA Bob. So
nice. I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Triple Threat Vets on Thursday nights. Go follow them on their YouTube channel. Go give them a follow. And like we always say here on HomeFront SitRep, stay safe out there. We got your six. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.